tell you how I use my favorite yogurt containers to plant plants, and I'm awkwardly standing in the corner of my bathroom because this is where I have put them. I usually put all my plants in glass jars. And recently I've become kind of obsessed with putting them in dirt. And while these aren't too expensive, I have a lot of plants, and it's always good to have an alternative, to not have to, buy tons of things for your indoor jungle. So using yogurt containers is actually really useful and inexpensive. And I'm going to show you the best ones. I have two favorite kinds of yogurt because of the amount of protein per calories. This one has 90 for 17 grams, and I also eat chobani's. I think it's low fat, plain as well. No sugar, it's just yogurt. So you can add it as sour cream. I eat a lot of yogurt. So the best part about Oikos and chobani's is that the packaging it's just a piece of plastic around the jar that you can just cut. And these are the highlight of this video. They're Fiskars. I think they're gardening scissors, but I use them for gardening, for everything. I use them to make these containers into plant containers. What I do is cut them off, so it's just this sticker here. Sometimes it does this whole twisty thing, but it's just plastic that comes right off, and underneath it's just a really nice white, well, not really nice, it's a nice white container that you can reuse for anything, because there's these ones like this yogurt. It's got pretty good protein content. It has actually a little bit more, 18 grams of protein per 90 calories, but this won't come off, and this is ugly. So I don't want this with plants in it around my area. And most yogurt containers are like this, but Chobani's and Oikos are not perfect. So this is what we've created. And it's really easy. It's also ecologically more friendly because this is really the only trash that you use, because the lid becomes the little plate that catches the water at the bottom. And it's not the most classy plant situation you could have, but it's a way to reuse a plastic item and make very little trash and have an inexpensive, sturdy container for your plants. So all I do is I take it, after I rinse it out, of course, it's really easy to rinse these out. I don't even rinse them, I just rinse them out with water. I cut like that, and then I turn it around and cut the other side. And here it is again, just cut at an angle on the corner, one side and then the other. And it cuts a little diamond-shaped hole. I like the holes to come a little bit up on the ledge, just so that while they're sitting in this plate, it can't block the water from getting out, because you want your plants to drain. And then I just do 3, 4, 5, just however many I end up with that day. Sorry, I guess there is a little more plastic that you're wasting, but it's a lot less than you would be wasting if you had just thrown it away altogether or recycle. Especially here in Hawaii, I'm not sure what we actually recycle, but I know it's not much. So I feel guilty about eating cereal, but not yogurt. And there you have it. So it's just little cuts. I don't know if you can see. And it works perfectly for plants. This one is a Pathos. These are really forgiving. Pathos will pretty much grow in any conditions whatsoever. I've been really hard on mine. But I think about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I bought my first one. It was $5. It was in a little container. It was very small, a little bit bigger than this maybe. And now I have tons of it hanging all over my house. I don't have any right here. I'll add some into the video, but I just have tons. It just grows and grows and grows, and you can just snip it and stick it in the dirt as long as it has these little nodes here. It's this little guy here. Yeah, and they'll grow in water or in dirt. You can water them a lot. You cannot water them very often at all, and they will survive. I fill them with dirt. The dirt mixture that I use is part perlite, conditioning compost, cocoa peat that I get from Amazon, and this one has a tiny bit of bark just because I keep mixing and mixing and mixing my soils, so when it's for different things like orchids, I have more bark, but this just has a little bit of remnants. And I have some plant food to keep the soil with minerals that the plants like to eat. I do this next to the sink in the kitchen. Makes for easy cleanup. And I fill up the yogurt container a little bit of the way, put in my plants. These plants I am taking from jars. Like I said, I've recently become obsessed with putting all my plants in dirt rather than in jars full of water, so that's where these are coming from. And I just simply put the cutting into the yogurt container that has a little bit of soil, and then I fill it up to the top with soil. I don't pack it very tightly because I noticed that plants like to have a lot of air in the soil, and they also like to be drained. So the water should drain through them when you water them. It shouldn't stay in the container because they will die. Will die. It's happened. That's why you cut holes in the bottom so that the water can drain. And so the soil also has to be loosely packed, which is why you add the perlite and the cocoa peat or peat moss. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will be back next week with either how I remade my son's armoire with a desk, if I finish it. Classes just started this week, and I recently moved and I'm still not all settled in, so I might not get to that. Otherwise, it'll probably be another plant thing. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Happy planting. Happy indoor gardening. Happy indoor gardening. Happy indoor gardening. Happy indoor gardening. And happy indoor gardening.